only like the impairments. They realized it was only like when they were under the influence that like their learning was impaired, and I just want to reflect back to something that you said, and you talked about all the the dangerous chemicals and stuff in it, but that is just in the stuff that's smuggled over from other countries and stuff. But if marijuana was legalized, then it would be able to go through medical testing and labs, and it would be more it wouldn't be as many dangerous chemicals, and it would put a lot of drug dealers out of business, because then people could readily get it. They wouldn't have to go to their dealers illegally and risk being caught by the police, and it would put smugglers out of business. And if they regulated it, it could be taxed, and it wouldn't be as dangerous, and it would just be a source of revenue. And I just want to read some statistics. There are over 500,000 deaths due to tobacco and alcohol a year, and there are 500 from aspirin. There are 0 deaths from marijuana, actually just smoking it each year.
You mean 1 minute?
Yeah.
Oh, I had stuff I didn't use.
This will have to wait for after. We have to do our concluding. I feel like watch. Okay, whenever you want to kill. Alright. 1 second. Oh, wait. Okay. Ready?
We are here to argue that marijuana should not be legalized. The truth is that if we do legalize marijuana for medical use, people are just going to overuse it. And the truth is that marijuana used for medical use is about 60 times less as strong as the stuff that is out on the street, depending on how the marijuana is cut. Biologically, marijuana affects the brain, heart, lungs, sexual organs, and depresses the immune system. The effects on the brain include distortion of the senses, confused judgment, and decreased motor skills. Operating machinery and motor vehicles now becomes dangerous. Effects on the heart include rapid heart rate and high blood pressure. Respiratory problems include pharyngitis, laryngitis, and bronchitis. Marijuana has also been associated with lung, head, and neck cancers. It reduces the T cells in the immune system that are needed to fight off infections, which makes your body more prone to getting sick. In preteens, marijuana use can stunt physical growth and slow down development. High doses of marijuana can cause decreased fertility, breast enlargement in the males, and also cause males to produce breast milk. They're even more dangerous for young people. One of the major concerns is its effect on how the young people when they grow up. Research shows that the earlier people start using drugs, the more likely they are to experiment with other drugs. That's just how things work. You don't settle for one drug. You want to keep going and going farther. In addition, when young people start using marijuana regularly, they lose interest and are not motivated to do their schoolwork. These effects of marijuana can interfere with learning by impairing thinking, reading comprehension, verbal and mathematical skills. Research shows that students do not remember mostly anything what they learned when they were high. But you rarely see anything reported about the research into health effects of cannabis. That's because there isn't any research going on. It's because the findings are acutely embarrassing for the supporter on the war on drugs. Just think about it. If there are any real convincing evidence about marijuana that really does help people in more reasons than just for their own satisfaction, then wouldn't it have been legalized already in more states rather than being shot down on almost every state's voting ballot in the U.S. year after year after year? That's because that people would take it out of proportion. You guys think that if it was legalized and people on the streets would stop, that just caused more war for stronger drugs and to put more emphasis on the harder drugs, because marijuana
30 seconds.
is the lower drug on that. And the stuff that is going to be used for medical purposes, that's not even close to how strong and potent as the stuff out on the streets that people are buying, it doesn't even really compare to it.
Cool. You gonna take your pants off?
Till our con part. That's what I'm waiting for.
Alright.
Oh wait, we go.
Oh yeah, you guys go first.
Okay. You
I
wanna
mean,
split this in
darn.
half?
Sure. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're just gonna share ours.
Sharing, caring, and
Chris.
basically anything.
What?
No, we still.
We'll go for it. Okay. Ready? You wanna start?
Tell us 1:30.
Well, we have what, two minutes for consuming?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah, tell us at 1:30.
Right.
Medical marijuana is a different issue, but they also have something called Marinol, which is a legal and safe alternative medical marijuana. It isolates the active ingredient in THC, which actually provides all the benefits of the medical marijuana into a simple pill. So basically legalizing it for medical purposes that doesn't even come into play here. It just doesn't make sense because they already have the drugs, they isolated it, they have the pill, you don't need to smoke it at all. Marijuana, if the United States was to legalize it, would be in violation of an international treaty. The U.S. is a signatory to the Single Convention on Narcotics and the Convention of Psychotropic Substances. So basically, 112 other nations has recently reaffirmed their commitment to these strong drug laws. So if the Americas was to go against those, it would be in violation of an international treaty. Multiple studies show that chronic use of cannabis is associated with symptoms of chronic bronchitis. Lung function is significantly poor, and there are significantly greater amounts of abnormalities in large airways of marijuana smoke.
1:30.
Marijuana is a dangerous drug, and I don't understand where you get the facts that you can't really decrease the amount of ammonia in marijuana, so you can't really decrease that at all. Oh, unlike tobacco and okay.
Unlike alcohol and tobacco, cannabis is a hallucinatory event on the mind. This is inherently dangerous in itself. Furthermore, just like other drugs, there are many individuals addicted to cannabis who resort to crime in order to fund their addiction.